What is up, my Card Kingdom family? Kenji back for some more drafting here on Magic Online. Got some more of this Lord of the Rings draft. Let's see if we can do some business. Thanks for watching. Hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already. And don't forget to check out cardkingdom.com/Numot for all of your Magic card needs. The rare we opened is not a very good one. It is a card for the Scry deck, but I don't think this is a good card. You have to Scry 7 times before it actually does anything, right? And then you still need to pay 6 mana in on top of that. So don't think we'll be taking that one. What do we have? The best couple of cards in the pack, I think, are like Theoden, King of Rohan. 2/3 human that when it or another human enters, gives a creature double strike until end of turn. That's quite good. Meriadoc Brandybuck is also quite solid, although I haven't been entirely impressed by the food deck. I'm going to go ahead and take the red-white card here, pick one, pack one, and see if maybe that will pan out, but we'll just stay open and keep our options available. Getting past a Delighted Halfling, that's a pretty good one, actually. 1 mana, 1/2, adds a mana, and then you can add one of any color if it's for a legendary spell. Pretty good. Another awesome card here is the Reprieve. That is the white Remand. Return a spell to its owner's hand, draw a card. Fantastic one. Ugluk for the red-black Amass/Goblin Orc deck is not terrible. Dunland Crabane has actually been pretty darn good. Lots of value for a 3 mana 1/1 flyer. I guess you could probably take Reprieve to follow up Theoden if you really wanted to. But the Delighted Halfling, I think, is pretty solid, isn't it? As a 1 mana play. I don't know. I guess I'm going to be happier with Reprieve generally. Let's go ahead and try that. Into, what is this pack? We're getting past a Legolas, Counter of Kills. So this is another card intended for the Scry deck. But this is actually one of the weakest of the Scry payoff cards, as it doesn't actually pay off with Scry. It only really does anything when an opponent has a creature that dies, so haven't been too impressed with that one. Have enjoyed Ring Sight quite a bit. You always get the ring tempting you, which is great, and then you basically get a tutor for a card. Remember, when the ring tempts you, assuming you have a creature, you're always going to make a legendary creature, so the ring sight, surprisingly solid, I think. If we wanted to stick with white-red, there's like a Banish from Adoris. That's okay. There's a Birthday Escape here, another nice ring-tempting card that I'm really big fan of. Like a Took Reaper if we wanted to. I think the best card here is Ring Sight, though. So I'm happy to stay open and see if maybe that pans out. If not, no big deal. Display of Power. Copy any number of instant or sorceries. You choose new targets. That's not very good. Rising of the Day. This is interesting. It's like a weird Fires of Yavimaya. I'm not actually sure it's good, but it can lead to some fast kills out of nowhere. For the humans deck, we could take like Rally at the Hornburg. That's actually been pretty solid for me. Tale of Tunuville has been medium, but not bad when you have the land cyclers. I mean, there's a lot of red-white cards here. They're just not very good overall. 2/2 Vigilance for 2. Is that anything good? Probably not. Hobbit Sting is like an okay removal spell. I think I like taking the Rally at the Hornburg here. Sting the Glinting Dagger. I've actually never seen this. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has haste at the beginning of each combat. Untap equipped creature. The equipped creature has first strike as long as it's blocking or blocked by a goblin or orc. Huh. So is +1/+1 and haste good enough for that mana? I would guess it's leaning towards no. But I don't think it's a bad card. Our other options here are like Protector of Gondor. Just a solid enough 4 mana human that makes another human. Slip on the Rings, a decent enough white instant trick. Let's stick with red-white for now. I think I'm just going to lean into this and see if we can make a good red-white deck of sorts. Erebor Flamesmith is okay here. Is just another 2-drop that can add some extra points of damage. Stew the Conies, maybe the best card in the pack. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. You make a food. I guess we could stay open to green-white by taking that. It is the best card in the pack, so yeah, we should do that. Huh. Now a Strider, Ranger of the North. This is a 4-mana 4/4. Whenever a land enters the battlefield in your control, target creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Then if that creature is power 4 or greater, gains first strike. Okay. Well, maybe we can do some weird Naya human deck. As we get... This is a Dwarf Soldier. I guess this is some plane cycling that could be okay. Could also take many partings for some fixing. What are we doing here? I guess I kind of like taking the many partings more than the eagle. Elven Farsight, scry 3, then you may reveal a top card. If it's a creature, draw it. That might be okay. Let's see, Shire Terrace for some fixing looks alright here. Yeah, nobody wants the Legolas. 5-mana 4/5 that tempts you when it ETBs. Doubt I'm going to play that, but maybe. Only problem is I don't really want to be playing cards like Shire Terrace if I'm going to be leaning towards an aggressive deck. But I guess for now, some kind of Naya humans is the plan. Alright, we wield the Hobbit Sting out of this particular pack. Or I could just take another many partings. Let's take another many partings. We can probably run like 16 or maybe even 15 lands if we get enough of those type of cards. Let's take a sideboard Shower of Arrows. And last few pickups don't look like they're going to matter. Okay. I don't know if this is a good start, but it's fine. We have some kind of human plan going on. We have, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 different humans. Palantir of Orthanc. This card is super fun. It is a little bit slow, but if the game extends for any amount of time, it's usually going to win you it. So, at the beginning of your end step, put an influence counter on it, and then scry 2. So, the turn you play it, it's immediately going to give you scry 2 value unless they kill it before your end step. Then, you get to draw a card, or... if your opponent doesn't want you to draw a card, you mill X cards, where X is the number of influence counters, and then they lose life equal to the total number of total mana cost of those cards. So it's really easy for an aggressive deck to just have this as a scry 2, draw an extra card, because your opponent oftentimes cannot afford to even take any amount of damage. That's a fun one. I'm going to take it. Pretty nice looking second pick here. Lost to Legend. It looks like a really good card. 2-mana instant. Put a non-land historic permanent into its owner's library, 4th from the top. And because there are over 50% of the creatures legendary, this is always going to have hit in anybody's deck. Plus, the Ring Bearer also turned into a legendary, so you have to remember that. But I think Samwise the Stout-Hearted has to be the right choice here, right? 2-mana, 2/1 flash. ETB, you get to return a permanent from your graveyard to the battlefield, or rather to your hand that was put there from the battlefield, and then you get the ring temp. So quite a nice one. Lots of good value on that 2-drop. We have best card here is Gandalf, but we have like a Mountain Cycler we could take. Yeah, that's about it in this pack. What am I leaning towards right now? Is there any way I can just go straight 2-color? I kind of want to still lean towards red-white. So maybe just take the Haradrim Spearmaster instead of the Oliphant. I think that's okay. Another Flamesmith. Revive the Shires, okay. There's another Hobbit Sting. I guess we can take the Flamesmith. It's just another 2. Oh, no, this isn't even a human. This is a dwarf. Oh. For some reason, I thought that was a human. Okay, that a little bit worse for our deck, if that's the case. Could take Revive the Shire, I guess, too. This is not even a human either. This is a halfling peasant. I suppose Hobbit Sting, if I'm running too many partings, isn't terrible. Okay, we'll just take the weird removal spell here. Jeez, and there are some nice scry cards, though we can't really afford to do any of those. Elrond, Master of Healing. 4 mana, 4/4. Whenever you scry, put a 1/1 counter on each of up to X target creatures, where X the number of cards looked at. Whenever a creature you control with the 1/1 counter up becomes a target of a spell or ability and opponent controls, you may draw a card. Damn. And then Arwen's just fantastic, too, for the scry deck. I guess we can take the Banish here for an exile, or we can take like the Flicker with Tempt. We actually have some good Flicker with Tempt synergies. Three mana 1/1 makes a food when it leaves or enters. This is, I guess, leaning towards green-white food, splashing some of the red cards, maybe. Just cut these two and go green-white food. Could be okay. Quick Beam's pretty good. It's not going to have any synergy in our deck, but it's a 6 mana 5/6 that pseudo overruns 2 creatures when it enters. I'm okay with that. There's an Ents Fury. Just a punch effect that's pretty good too. I guess I'm okay taking this 3 mana 4/2 now. Okay, so maybe green-white food, splashing a couple of cards. I don't know if Theoden's going to be a great splash in this deck if we go down this route, but could be worth trying. Man, the Scry deck is just super open. Celeborn the Wise. Sack a land, search your library for up to 2 basic lands, put on the battlefield tapped. If you control a creature power 4 or greater, instead search your library for 3 basic lands, put on the battlefield tapped. I guess that's a little bit of fixing if we wanted to. But I don't just mind taking another 3 mana 4/2. I'm guessing Theoden is going to be a cut at the end of this, because we are moving further and further away from humans. In fact, I don't even have that many humans in the deck right now. Maybe we can get like this enraged horn back in. 5 mana 4/5, trample, tempt, and it's also a tree folk for Quick Beam, because Quick Beam triggers on any of them. Okay, on to the next pick. I guess we can take Pippin's Bravery for a little bit of food pump value. And maybe a second. I don't know if I'm going to start 2 in the deck. Jeez. Yeah, so I guess the open lane in this draft was definitely the blue-green scry deck, but it's a little bit too late for us now. Feels like anyways. Yeah, we just don't have any of the reasons to do it, so we'll stick with our green-white even if it's not great. Moving into pack 3, we've opened a Mines of Moria. I think here we're happy to take a Mushroom Dog. This is one of the better 2-drops you can have in the green-white deck, right? Sack a food, put a 1/1 counter on it. It gains Vigilance until end of turn. Yeah. Can only do that as a sorcery, but it seems good enough. I mean, I don't even have that much food synergy. But still, it's a good enough 2-drop. Okay, next pick has another Mushroom Watchdogs, I guess. There goes a Gandalf, another Ring Sight. I guess Westfold Rider would be a decent one we could pick up on the wheel. Yeah, 2 dogs is good. I need more ways to make a food now. I mean, how many are we at? 1, 2... This doesn't make a food, does it? No, 1, 2. This doesn't make a food. 3, 4. So only 4 ways to make a food right now. So need to up that count quite a bit, it feels like. Especially if we end up getting more dogs. We'll see. Another slip on the ring here could be okay. Dundane Blade, 1 mana to equip to a human. That's just okay. 4 mana 4/4 is probably not bad. It gets +X/+X whenever it attacks, where X is the number of legendary creatures you control. And we have a few legendary creatures plus a few ways to tempt, so probably not the worst. Could take Old Man Willow. Splash that instead of Strider could also be fine. This is a really, really solid one. Power and toughness equal the number of lands you control, and then you can sacrifice another creature or token when it attacks to give something -2/2. I mean, that's going to have more food synergy. Strider is just worse, I think, than splashing Old Man Willow. Another Watchdog here. Passing in Eagles of the North. Okay, so 3 dogs. Can I get some more food production? What is this? Flame of Anor. Choose one. If you control a wizard, you may choose 2. 5 damage to a creature, destroy an artifact, or target player draws 2 cards. Wow, that card is great. For us, though, we have the Dundane Rangers, which is also just pretty good. 4 mana 4/4 landfall. If you don't have a Ring Bearer, when you play a land, the ring gets to tempt you. I've been happy with that card. Any food production. Okay, we can take like the Lembas here over Fog on the Barrow Downs. I think I like taking the food when I have 3 Mushroom Watchdogs now. And this one gets to shuffle back into your library, so that seems fine. Okay, another food card, the East Farthing Farmer. Sure. I've said it a bunch of times on my stream, but I've never seen a good food deck go off. With 3 Mushroom Watchdogs, we probably have a chance to. I'm just a little bit concerned we might not have enough food production, though. I don't think any of these other cards produce a food, right? Pippin's Bravery doesn't make one, it just uses them. Let's see. I don't know if we're going to run 2 Shire Terrace. We're probably not. Does Shower of Arrows make a food? No, it's Scry's one. Okay. Man, the blue-red deck this last pack got hooked up. I think we're okay, though. I think our deck has some merit to it. Do I want to run 17 lands, though, when I have 2 of these many partings? I don't think I do. Yeah, maybe we just take this Bag-End Porter and run another 4/4. All right, again, don't need another Shire Terrace. So this is going to be like 9 forests, 1 swamp, 1 Shire Terrace, maybe 5 plains is okay. Because we don't actually need that much white. If you look at it, none of our white cards are really coming down on the turn that they cost. Maybe the Reprieve. But generally, you're not going to be flashing out Samwise on turn 2, I think. And with too many partings, I think that's the right play. All right, let's give it a shot. I would say this deck is medium, but maybe we can wrangle out some wins. Yeah, let's go 9-5-1. Fire this off. Go to round 1 here of this Lord of the Rings draft. Round 1 here of this Lord of the Rings draft with our green-white food deck. That is a 0 land opening hand, so we are going to say no thank you. Let's go to 6. And that's an okay looking 6er. Pitch one of the forests here. I mean, I guess this might be a game where we do play out turn 2 Samwise, just flash it out, turn it into the Ring Bearer immediately. Hobbit Sting. Let's see. Yeah, I guess we'll just go ahead and flash out Samwise end of turn. Land cycling? All right. Black-white. Black-white's one of the better strategies in the format, I think. Okay, let's play the farmer. Pump up Samwise. Bash in for 3. This is good with the Flicker card. And we can kill up to a 3 toughness creature next turn by playing the Lembas first. Oh, it looks like they're going to play the Crabane, which is slightly annoying. Reprieve's pretty good. Yeah, we'll keep the Rangers on top. Do I want to attack here? I think we'll just pass. Go for a reprieve, hopefully on any 4-drop they play. Build a pony, seems good to me. Kind of like a time walk there. Ah, there's the slip on the ring card I was talking about. That's good with the Farthing. East Farthing Farmer. We'll go bag in Porter here. Say go. All right, they're going to replay their bill. We get to attack for 4 here, or 5 here, though. Oh, Ent's Fury was another nice draw. Let's see. Put one counter on target creature you control if its power is 4 or greater than that creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn and fights. Yeah, okay. So let's punch Bill the Pony here with our Porter. Yeah, this is good, actually. If they want to double block the Farthing Farmer, I'm okay with that, because then I can actually flicker the Samwise, get it back to my hand, tempt again. Yeah, that seems good for us. And we'll turn Sam back into the Ring Bearer. So now we are 3 towards the ring. And remember, they are cumulative. They stack. So I will forever be at least on the 3rd mode of the ring tempt. The Shire Sheriff from the opponent. Okay, that's good. They can sack a food and exile my creature until the Sheriff goes away. We do have the Hobbit Sting for that, though. And a Protector of Gondor, so for some token production. Let's see. A little bit awkward since this was not the land we were hoping to draw. We wanted another white source here so we could go like Farmer plus Sting this turn. But I guess what we can do is Farmer and pump up Samwise to a 5/4 now because we have 3 foods. Yeah, and then we can attack and loot and maybe draw a plains here. The dogs. I guess I'm supposed to just discard land. Okay, that's fine by me. Damn, plains there would have been super sick though. Alright, so we trade. And what is 2 to activate? Yeah. Pretty even game here so far. So if we draw a land next turn, we're going to want to play the Rangers and then play the land, and we'll have the full ring tempt on. But I guess dogs into sack of food and hold up Hobbit Sting to get back our Bag End Porter is not bad. We'll see what we draw for turn and decide from there. So they have an Esquire of the King and a Shadow Summoning for 2/1/1 flyers. Alright, didn't draw the land anyways. I guess I'll attack for 2 and offer the trade on the Errand Rider. It's fine. Play the dogs, and I guess we'll sack a normal food here. Don't think I want to sack more than 1 for now. Uh-oh, they're tapping 6 mana very quickly. Eagles of the North. Okay. That's fine. So that gives all their creatures +1/+0 and first strike until end of turn. We can still Hobbit Sting the Sheriff. I'm going to take 6, go to 12. Hobbit Sting for 3 damage. Get back our Bag End Porter. No land again, dang it. Yeah, let's... I think sack both foods here. Oh wait, no. They're at 10, so sacking both doesn't make sense, but sacking one's alright. Attack for 8. Dundane and pass. So they've got nothing but flyers, but I also have nothing but big, chunky 4/4s. So it's kind of just a race here. But because we have the food to gain 3 life, they don't have me on a 2-turn clock. What's my best draw? My best draw might just be like one of the grab a land from the deck, make a food. Do they have the Lash? Maybe they're going to sack a token to... No, they should attack first if they're going to do that, right? Oh, Sam's Desperate Rescue. Oh, what did they get back? Ah, the 3/1 that, or the 3/3 that makes a 1/1. Okay. Fortunately for us, them getting the Ring Bearer doesn't matter here, since that's only their first trigger of it. Yeah, see, they gotta leave back the 1/1 token. Okay, I'm at 7. They play that out. Bad draw. We attack with all. They have to block at least with 2 creatures here. So they take 4, they go to 2. If I had an instant speed way to tempt myself, I'd actually kill them by turning our Rangers into our Ring Bearer and hitting them for an extra 3. Okay, so I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to just play out the Protector. Because gaining 3 life doesn't really... Gaining 3 life is the same as playing out blockers for their ground creature. They need to find 2 damage anyways. Oh, wow! I was wrong! That kills me now because I didn't go for the life gain instead. Oh, no. Wow, I assumed that gaining 3 was going to be worse, but it turns out had I held up the life gain, we would have survived this. Sheesh. Gosh. I think we got maybe a little bit unfortunate there, but... So it looks like Shower of Arrows is going to be good versus them. They have a lot of flyers. We drew every single one of our 4 drops that game. That's funny. Doesn't look like the combat trick was super necessary versus them, but it was fine. Yeah, the Protector of Gondor also seemed pretty weak. Let's just cut that and bring in the Shower. Alright, opening hand looks okay. Needs to find a land, but if we can find a 3rd land, we should be good. Turn 1 Esquire. Oh gosh, we just need 1 land so badly. If we get to turn 3 Palantir, I'm going to feel very confident. Jeez, into Shadow Summoning. Man, they've got a good curve. Okay, this is going to be a problem. They might aggro me out. Oh, and we bricked on the land too. I think we're going to kill one of the flyers here. Okay, we have a problem. Kept a 2-lander, didn't find a land. And this is going to be the problem now because Palantir, when you're behind, is really weak. And they're just going to kill off my Samwise immediately. Okay. Wow. Brutal, dude. Well, Mana Screw is a thing that happens. It sucks that we have so many 3-drops in our hand, but it's the way it goes sometimes. Okay. Come on, maybe there's a chance with a land this turn. No. Oh, boy. Protector of Gondor. I take a ping from them making a token. I take 4. I'm at 10. All right, even if we draw land, we're dead. That was an unfortunate match. There was a chance to win game 1, and then we just got completely varianced out in game 2. But good beats. Let's go to the next. Let's go to round 2 here of this Lord of the Rings draft. Be on the play. Oh yeah, and there's a great looking hand. That's the kind of hand we wanted to find. 2 ways to make food, good 2-drop, decent 4-drop. Let's go ahead and just grab our swamp here, turn 1. Oh, this might be a reverse non-game. I just realized our opponent mulliganed down to 5. They won't harm you, not unless I tell them to. Here, grip, fang, heal. Farmer Maggot. Alright, play the doggies and pass. I don't think we need to sacrifice a food right now, right? No reason to. It's a decent draw as well. Okay, let's go ahead and sack the food. Attack for 3 vigilance. And say go. My guess is we're probably going to flash in Sam at the end of their turn. So they play an inherited envelope. Yeah, and we're just going to try to pressure. We'll make Sam our ring bearer. Ooh, there's the Palantir. Oh, that's got to be really good here as well. Yeah, this is going to be the turn to play the Palantir out. Even though, well, no, Protector of Gondor is insane too. Never mind. It's just better to get the pressure online, I think. Like, we're going to have 9 power on the board with our opponent at 8 life. Sorry. 9 power on the board with our opponent at 12 life and then with nothing on the battlefield. Just a 2-3. Yep. Let's go with the bread. Bottom that. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I can put him to 1 by playing Stew the Conies. So, I guess we'll just sting and smash. Put him to 2. Poor Palantir. We're just smashing our opponent so hard we don't even want to play it. But if they do somehow stabilize, I mean, this will be a really easy way to continue the beats, the pressure. All right. Blue-white. Blue-white is supposed to be like the draw 2 archetype. They're also going to have some number of flyers, and we did see that envelope, so I'm guessing I should probably bring in the shower. We'll just take out the Pippin's Bravery again. Go on to game number 2. Ooh, we have both of our most expensive cards in our hand, and I think this is going to have to be a mulligan down to 6. Okay, I mean, it's not a good hand by any means, but it is, I think, better than that previous opening hand. We're going to need some help here, but I believe. Okay, that's a good draw. Turn 3 Palantir. We're going to actually see it in action, I think. Unless I just draw another perfect curve out. It's 3 of my 5 planes. And they went with the Soothing of Smeagol, bounce my dog, and get a tempt. Oh, and they have Bilbo. That's really bad for us. Bilbo's super good. Okay, let's just go for Palantir then, because none of my creatures can block Bilbo anyways. We're bottoming both lands. Wow. Nice to get rid of those. And they took 3 damage. So Bilbo is going to not only loot when it attacks, it's also going to get a treasure when it hits me. Yeah, that's going to be a problem. Bilbo's just so good. 3 mana 1/3, 3 mana 1/3 that tempts when it ETBs or leaves. Doesn't even have to die. Just such a good creature. Didn't make a land drop, they're just passing. I wonder if they have a counter in their hand. We'll go for our Bag End Porter. Do they have the Glorious Gale or whatever it's called? No, this is a 4 mana spell. Press the enemy. Return a spell or non-land permanent an opponent controls to its owner's hand. And then you can cast an instant or sorcery with lesser or equal mana from your hand without paying its cost. Seems like a mediocre card. I'll keep the Shower on top. Okay, they milled 7 mana worth of cards. They went down to 10. So at this point, they're probably just going to have to give me an extra card to return, or at the very least, it's going to be a little bit risky for them to take too much more damage. Or rather, mill more cards. Gandalf the Grey! Love it. Card is very fun. So whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, they have to choose one that hasn't been chosen. It's got a bunch of abilities. Yeah, let's leave both of those on top. If they had taken it, they would have lost. I had a 6 and a 4 on top. So we're going to be most concerned about their copy an instant or sorcery. Okay, that's 3 towards their tempting. So if they can get another tempt off, Bilbo's going to start dealing me 4 damage every time it connects. Oh, a forest. Oh, they're playing lots of colors. So we're going to go land, attack. Oh, they're just taking it? Oh, we might win with Quick Beam next turn. Now we go Protector of Gondor. Doggies. And Palantir. Friendly Rivalry. Okay. So they're going to double kill creatures here with Friendly Rivalry. It's pretty nice. Good news is they won't be able to copy any more spells, but that was a good turn for them for sure. Let's see. Yeah, we can draw both of those. That's fine. Oh, they could... They milled me and they took infinite damage. I don't think they meant to do that. Okay, but we got a Palantir win. Awesome. All right, let's go to the last round. Okay, on to the third and final round. After that Palantir win, we are on the draw with one land. We are going to mulligan that. Oof. Gonna need a little help here. We have a bunch of ways to fix, though, so keep this, pitch the excess forest, and hope that we can find either a plains or one of our other ways to grab a white source, or we just rip it off the top. Perfect. That draw was probably secondary only to the, whatever the 1 mana find a land card is called. What's the name of that thing? Many Partings. That was probably our best draw, but we'll not complain about plains. Blue-green. Okay, so they're going to probably be on the Scry deck, assuming they're not playing more colors. The thing about the Scry deck is that it can easily fold to just a couple pieces of removal. If you either kill their enabler or their like one relevant card, the payoff card for the Scry deck, sometimes they just are left with a bunch of do-nothings. So let's hope that we can get that going, if they do anything anyway. And there's one of the better ones that they can have. Is this a fight? It is, unfortunately, a fight, so... Which means this isn't the greatest. Do I want to put a 1/1 counter on that right now? An attack for 4? I guess I do. So yeah, Chance Met Elves. 3 mana, 3/2. Whenever you scry, put a 1/1 counter on it. Triggers only once each turn. We're hoping they just tap out for something not super relevant here. Or if they do, we want to draw a plains, or rather just a land, so that I can slip on the ring into the Fury. Okay, there's their first mode of scry, so it's going to turn into a 4/3. Like I said, if we can just kill their first payoff card, we should be good. And they revealed... Oh, they have the Arwen, another nice payoff card. So that's 2 different payoff cards they have now. These lands enter tapped, though. I think they thought it might have been like a Harrow, where the lands enter untapped. Although they do get to grab 3 lands here. Jeez. All right, up to 6. That's kind of crazy. They can't be attacking here, are they? I just snap block if they do. What is going on? What are you doing over there? Oh, okay, opponent disconnected. We'll be right back. Okay, our opponent has reconnected. Land. That is not the land we were looking for, unfortunately. I guess I'm just going to farmer here. And attack for 4. See if they want to trade. Because right now their hand is Arwen and 2 unknowns. Like I said, if we can find some ways to kill their creatures, we should be okay. Now, I could have used Ents Fury there, but it would be a 2-for-1 since it's a fight, right? And now, only now that my creature is a 4-4, will I be able to pump it twice to get around that. All right, there's the Arwen. There are a few instant speed ways to scry. Can we find a land? I think it might be better to kill the Arwen, right? It's just an enabler and a payoff card all in one. Oh, do they have a reverse Ents Fury now? No, they have a Lothlorien Lookout. That's an enabler, but it's not super good if they don't have a way to, like, tempt the ring. Ah, they did have an Ents Fury. Damn it. Okay. So now we have a problem. Like I said, if we had drawn that 4th land before them, we would have been in A-OK shape. There it is now. So let's see. Guess we go punch here. Play out dogs. Pass. Not now, Steam. Not now, activate Windows. Legolas Master Archer. 3 mana, 1/4 reach. Whenever you cast a spell that targets it, put a 1/1 counter on it. Whenever you cast a spell that targets a creature you don't control, Legolas deals damage equal to its power up to 1 creature. Wow. That's pretty solid. That's really solid. Oh no, and the last card in their hand is like another Ents Fury or something? Wow, are you serious? Their draw was fantastic. Sheesh. So that's brutal. They get to wipe my board here, don't they? Well, they get to leave my 1/1 alive, but yeah, we're pretty dead now. That also means they get to attack with their Lookout and grow their Chantsmith Elves. Jeez Louise. Oh, wait. Oh, they did this wrong. They should have Ents Furied my farmer. They left my 2/3 alive. Okay. I mean, we're still extremely screwed here. They get to attack me for 6, scry 1. Man, brutal. Absolutely brutal. Let's see if they put on top or bottom. They went to the bottom, okay. All right, and with that draw, we can probably concede. Don't have really anything to get back from that. I think we want Pippin's Bravery #2 in versus them, because we really just need to have ways to kill their creature, so an extra combat trick to pump and get there is probably worth it. What can I cut? Yeah, we can just cut this random 4/5, I think is fine. Go on to game #2. Be on the play. Yeah, and that's a decent looking hand. We actually get to Old Man Willow this time. Brandywine Farmer with Slip on the Ring is a lot of food. All right, opponent mulligan down to 6. Looks like they might be having some slow internet issues or something. Come now. Turn 1 spell on the stack. All right, grab our swamp. Elven Farsight, that's fine. I think that card is only particularly useful in specifically the Scry Matters deck. Just in random green decks, it's probably, like, it's not comparable to a Ponder. Yeah, they didn't even hit anything on that, so. Uh-oh, we are drawing way too many lands now. And they are going to cycle Hithlane Knots to draw a card. That's good by me. There's their Chance Met Elves again. Oh no, this is so bad. Oh boy. I mean, every land we play makes the Old Man Willow larger, but yeah, this is problematic. So now this Chance Met Elves already turns into a 4/3, which means if I draw another land or something next turn, we're probably dead. Yep, I like their attack here because I don't really want to trade. That's fine. They're chumping? What is going on? I am extremely scared and confused. Maybe they thought this did something else? Okay. Maybe they have a way to bring that back from their graveyard. Ooh, another Chance Met Elves. But if they don't have a way to scry, then that's, again, not even a good play here. Well, that's a great draw. Okay. So now we can go Farmer. Pump. Attack. Sack. Kill. I guess I could have attacked with the 1/1 as well. This is pretty brutal for them. Okay, I mean, huh. I have no idea what's going on in this game now. Is there some weird blue-green card that I'm going to get wrecked by? No, it's just another creature that dies to Old Man Willow. What is going on? I am scared, I'm confused, and I guess I'm going to win. Sure. Can we win this turn? Not quite. It's probably okay again to attack with the 1/1, but I don't think I want to. Okay. Yeah, they look like they have a pretty solid scry deck. They have a lot of payoffs and a lot of enablers. It's not going to matter here, but... that's a fight. So if we flicker this and then pump the dog, they lose their creature. Okay. We will take game number 2. Let's go to game number 3. All right, let's go to game number 3 here of the third and final round. I'm going to keep this hand. It's a little bit awkward looking, but I think it's acceptable. Obviously would love to draw a forest off the top, but even if we don't, we have some play. Now, if they do nothing on turn 2, I'm going to pass it back. What is this card? Move a counter of each kind not on Goldberry from another target permanent you control onto Goldberry. Move one or more counters from Goldberry on another target permanent you draw. Oh, wow, that card's really cool. Bam, got the forest like a hero. That's pretty good with all of those chance elves or whatever they're called. Let's see, main phase. So I think we just let that resolve. I don't know why they're main phasing that. Take the 1. We'll play out Samwise. We're not going to block. Do I want to just kill the Goldberry right now? I don't think we need to. Probably just okay to attack for 2 and then play out our Mirror. Get the 4-power creature online for the Ent's Fury. Next turn's pretty solid. Alright, there's their Scry Enabler. They don't have a payoff yet, which is great. They're going to bounce my Mirror Guardian. Gotcha. Okay. Sure, that's fine. Other planes is kind of awkward. Well, I think now we're going to... what do I want to do here? I think I like killing their Lookout. And either holding up Reprieve or playing out the food. I think we'll play out the food. Oh, Hobbit Sting's great too. That's good. Alright, next turn we can go like Guardian plus Hobbit Sting something for 3. We have a lot of ways to stop their creatures, and that is the ideal scenario for these decks. Yeah, they have a lot of the enablers, but none of the cards that matter, so this is good for us. So Guardian and pass. I think I'm okay here trading for Samwise. Move a counter of each kind not on Goldberry from another target permanent you control onto it. What? They had no counters. Okay. I have no idea what's going on. This game is confusing. Sure. Ooh, Palantir. Nice draw. Okay, let's go Palantir pass. And start getting a lot of value. If they want to mill stew the conies, they take 3. If they don't, I draw a card. And this is a perfect position for Palantir, where both players are pretty much stabilized, equal board states. They did, in fact, take 3. All right. So if they brick on a good card this turn, if they just draw a land, it's going to be very hard to lose. Ent's Fury. That we can pump our creature in response. And it's going to turn into a 6/4, so I do need to sack the food, because theirs is going to turn into a 4 power. Nice. Good value for us. And that's going to be game. We can go to get a swamp with our Shire Terrace. Let's attack for 5. And then Palantir just going to draw us extra cards and find us action. Bottom, bottom. Oh, did it mill 2 more lands afterwards? That's crazy. There were 4 lands on top. And we get to just reprieve that. Okay, good. Let's go with Lembas. I don't think we want the dogs. Attack for 6 and Palantir. Top the old man. They might just kill themselves to Palantir. Yep, they did. GG's. Palantir, milled, Old Man Willow, and another 4-drop. So Palantir, just such a good card. Got a little bit unlucky in game, or not in game 1, in round 1, I think. We might have been able to smell out. I mean, they had to find that creature that gave flying, but I guess either way, they had to find a pump spell, so maybe gaining life was just better. But got the next 2 rounds with a nice little green-white food deck. The green-white food, I mean, we didn't even have that much food synergy. We had some, but I don't know about the green-white decks. I'm sure if it's open and you can get the good cards, the correct cards, it's fine, but overall, seems like a little lackluster. Anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you back next week.